Jarrett Payton.
And I hear my name again, and I'm like, who's calling me? So I look back at the people working, and it's not them. It's this guy that's sitting down right by the door, and he goes, Jarrett, man, I love you on the score, man. It's so awesome. I was like, I'm going to be on at 9 o'clock. Tune in.
The son of sweetness, Walter Payton, sports anchor for WGN, former running back great.
Payton again, already 2 touchdowns. There it is. There's the touchdown. The Jarrett Payton Show today.
Jarrett Payton with Mully and Haugh on 670 The Score.
Mully and Haugh, Chicago Sports Radio, 670 The Score. Always fun to talk to Jarrett Payton, and he joins us now on the Score Hotline, powered by IBEW Local 9, Chicago's original powerhouse since 1892. Jarrett, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Mully. You know, I'm in Vegas right now, so I shouldn't be complaining. But
it's early.
It's early, but it's okay for you guys. Anything. We've been shooting a lot here for a next hour show that I'm doing called Big Game Tailgate. So I've been out here shooting for the last 48 hours. We probably shot about over a week's worth of material. So we've been everywhere, and it's going to air on the Super Bowl week, leading up to Super Bowl week on all of our Next Star stations, so in WGN as well. So we've been out here doing work, and I've been hitting my parlays, so everything is good for my pocketbook. You know what I'm saying?
That's great. Are you shooting any dice? That's the real question.
Are you just getting up, or are you getting up, or are you just getting in?
I'm getting up now. Right, last night, Lunel, she's a comedian. I did an interview with her yesterday, earlier in the day, at the Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club.
Wow.
And she was like, yo, come back to see the show. So we're like, yeah, we got to go back and see the show. So we went there last night after a long day of shooting, but it was a perfect way to end the night. And now I'm just waking up.
Oh, my gosh, that is the dream. You're living the dream, for God's sake.
And Jarrett, Thursday, you've got the part of the series includes Devin Hester's son. There's a feature on him.
Yeah.
Devin Hester is the focus, but his son's included, right?
No, well, this is a part of the other show, like a series that I do every single year called Legends of the Big Game. And so this year it was Chris Long. I went out to Montana, shot with him, then went to New York to shoot Boomer and his son Gunner, who was born with cystic fibrosis. So that story is emotional. It's awesome. And then the last one, I went to Orlando and I shot Devin and his son Dre, and it was unbelievable. So I got to sit down with him, watch him coach, and for a guy who played with him at the U for a year, to see him now grow as a dad, as a husband, and as a coach to his son, it's pretty cool. So it airs this Thursday on WGN at 9 o'clock, and you guys won't want to miss it. It's awesome.
Yeah, can the Bears draft him even if he's in high school? I mean, doesn't he belong to us? Yeah,
Mully, you know what? Since I've been out here, so many Bears fans everywhere, right? Like coming out here, I actually landed on Sunday, so it was kind of like going over to overseas to see a game. I'm walking through all the hotels and everybody's got different jerseys on, and a lot of Jets fans were here because they were playing Oakland. I mean, not Oakland, my bad. The Raiders on Sunday night. And I'm walking around and I'm talking to all these Bears fans, and all they want to talk about is the draft. And I had to check this young man last night. We were at this ice bar with one of the members of 98 Degrees. And we were sitting around hanging out, shooting some stuff. And he's like, yo, I got a question for you. Caleb Williams or Justin Fields? And I said, little man, slow down, man. Pump your brakes a little bit. We're not I am tired. And I told him, I said, you know what, young man, I love your question, but I'm not giving up on Justin Fields, dude. Like, I'm riding out with my dog. QB1 is my guy. So I'm giving it. I want the rest of the season. Whenever he steps on the football field, I said, why are you giving up on him so fast? He's like, well, he couldn't answer the question. I said, why were you giving up on him? Well, we saw all this stuff, and like the offense was better. Tyson Bear said, whoa, slow down. When Justin Fields is on the football field, you can't say this about many people, regardless how you feel about him. He is arguably the best athlete when he steps onto the football field. I think if we can see this offensive line the way that it has progressed since, he has been out, and how maybe a little bit here, but how Getsy's been calling plays and how everything's evolved a little bit. I think this is the time that I want to see him and what he can do for the rest of the year. But I also feel like we have to give this young man some time, right?
Not necessarily right, Jarrett. With due respect, I know where you're coming from. You're in a very small group of people, I think, in terms of whether it's media or fan base, that believes Justin Fields still can change the narrative or the arc of his career in the final 7 games. And I'm curious, I mean, from a practical standpoint, if you're Ryan Poles or if you are, an evaluator in the Bears front office, what are you waiting to see? He's had 31 games as a starter, and I think in those 31 games, some of the same issues have repeated themselves. And I think I'm curious, what in the final 7 games can he do to change the minds of people who don't believe in him as strongly as you do?
I feel like it's feeling comfortable in this offense. The reason why, Dave, I feel this way is because I feel like with coaching and better coaching of figuring out who that's supposed to be your guy, the offense is supposed to revolve around him. And so regardless of how you feel about his game, of what he needs to get better at, I want to see what I saw at the end of last year. I want to see him doing the things that he does well, right? The whole Chris Collinsworth stuff, right, about him sitting out watching Bajan, that I know we all kind of blew that up just a little bit, but I'm hoping that this time while he has been out, he has been able to look over his game, watch his game, study his game, study what the offense was doing while he was out. I don't think he's really ever had a chance to really breathe. And I feel like that time and that moment where he had that press, where he was sitting down in the press and he was talking and then had come back and do the, my stuff got blown out of proportion. He needed to breathe. This was a time for him to breathe. I think why I'm so excited is because when you do get to step back a little bit and watch from the sidelines, and as a competitor, you do see some certain things in your game that you might need to improve on, or, I could do this a little bit better. And so for him, and knowing that he's a student of the game, I believe that he's going to do something. I don't know if it's going to change the minds of everyone, David, whatever, but I've also sat and watched a lot of USC games this year. And I've looked at some of these other quarterbacks too. Wouldn't we kind of almost be in the same situation? Like, one dude's just not going to change at all. And there's a lot of stuff that needs to be put in place. And I just feel like I'm just here for the rest of the season for Justin. So if you see me in the streets, don't ask me the question about the draft and what quarterback we're drafting, because I don't want to hear it. Sorry.
I think that's funny. And I got to tell you, I hope you're right. I would love to see the kid come out and do some stuff that maybe there is a conclusion that, yeah, he really is special. He really can do all these things. But I also feel like C.J. Stroud has proven that you can come out and you can be an MVP candidate as a rookie, and you can look the part. And, I think when I look back on last year's draft, my conclusion is the Bears did a great job. They got a lot of things out of it, and I'm hoping for the best. But I also wonder why they didn't see that C.J. Stroud was going to be a special player. And unfortunately, it's a hard thing to determine. But that kid's special. Bryce Young, maybe someday you'll say he's special, but right now, what you say is C.J. Stroud.
Mully,
yes.
Mully, look at his situation, though. Look at Bryce Young's situation. Like, it's
awful.
It's hard,
awful.
like that. It's hard. CJ is in a really good position. He is an unbelievable player. He is super, super special.
Yes.
You knew it. You knew that. I felt like I've always said this, and I feel like I'm saying it over and over again. Justin needs to be like, when he's one of those packages, you need to handle with care.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of, for me, I want to see him with someone else calling offenses with him, someone that believes in what he's doing, someone that is there for him to teach him and coach him up the right way. I don't feel like he's had that since he's been in Chicago. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch a lot of quarterback play Sunday when you're sitting there at Circus Sports at the giant swimming pool and form all your conclusions that way, Jarrett?
First of all,
open bar.
Circa is awesome, right? They treated me like I was a part of the score for real. They were like, "Hey man, we hear you on the score too, man." Oh, I'm like, "Yeah, all the guys come out here." I'm like, "Man, this place is amazing." Yes, I was watching the quarterback play. That's the name of the game, David. I get it. I'm not saying that it's not. In the NFL, if you have that dude underneath center that can make it happen, it changes the ball game. I'm just here for whenever QB1 comes back to play, and I'll be watching.
I don't want to bring up the draft again, but the next time you watch USC, and I don't want to be one of the I don't like talking about the draft in November either, Jarrett, but
go ahead.
I would be just as cautious forming any conclusions about Caleb Williams that are negative. He is the real deal. He is the real deal.
I'm not saying he's not the real deal, but there's his system that he's around, man, that fits him there
the coaching
is amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing for him. So yeah, he does look good. But if you plop him here in Chicago right now, he might make a couple more plays here and there, but until you come into the NFL, it's hard. And that's why I'm glad I do not have to. I'm hot and cold when it comes to Caleb. So I've been like that.
Can you win a Super Bowl because of Justin Fields? Can you get to the playoffs because of Justin Fields? That's a question the Bears have to ask.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like you can. The Super Bowl part and winning, I don't know, because I know the way that you would have to utilize his talents. There is a running aspect to that. And we know what happens once you run enough, and especially a quarterback that's primarily a runner, the injuries are going to happen. And so I don't know if it's going to last. I will be honest there. But I also believe in that. I still feel like there's something there. I really do. And I'm hoping that he comes out and shows all of us when he gets his opportunity, man, because a lot of people have been talking a lot of mess. He's been hearing it. And as a competitor, I'm all here for you to come out and prove everybody else wrong. So here, let's do it.
Yeah, I want to see him. I want to know what he does here at the end of the season. But as David and I talked about today, it's going to be awful hard to change opinions. And frankly, these guys have acted like they don't, they didn't draft him and maybe they don't want. I don't know. I worry that they've already made a conclusion.
Probably so. But who knows we all don't know, is this coaching staff going to be there next year?
So yeah, that's true. That's very
that's the other thing. I mean, from the sounds of polls, it sounds like it, but who knows how that goes? And if someone does come in, maybe their feelings are a little bit different. Maybe they feel like they can bring the best out of him. But we'll have to wait and see. But David, I love going against you. I love that you don't always side with me all the time, man. I appreciate that.
I'm not going against you. I'm going with you, Jarrett. We're just having a conversation. That's okay.
Oh, no.
Hey, I'm not against you.
You are clearly the opposition.
No, I'm not. You're not the opposition. Jarrett, when you look at a guy like Dan Campbell and you think about coaches you played for, is he the type of coach, the type of guy that you could envision yourself playing for and enjoying?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I know all the crazy stuff about biting kneecaps, all that stuff. He's got that Lions team running on high octane, man. Everybody is feeding off of him. They're feeling his vibes. He believes in his guys. I mean, just listen to Jared Goff talking about it. Like, he was like, we going for this. And he believes in us. We believe in him. And so there's something special about that, man. And when you feel like you can run through a wall for somebody, great things happen. Everybody's bought in. And that's when you you can have all the talent in the world, been on talented teams. But if you don't have everybody bought in to what the coach is selling, it's hard to be a special team. And I think that's where he's created something in Detroit that is pretty special.
Yeah, I hope the defense has a special game. I hope the Bears defense, which has been improving, can handle the upcoming onslaught. I do worry that this is a team with a winning record, and the Bears have lost their last 15 against teams with winning records, which just underscores that they're not able to compete at a high level right now because of whatever it is. Where the talent level isn't there.
Well, the defense has been what's been the bright spot, you guys.
Yep.
I mean, and that's hats off. Give a lot of credit to Matt Eberflus, man. He's you love seeing that. And so offensively, I think that was a hard part about the Panthers game is just offensively, it was like this part's not picking up the slack. And you have to, can you imagine if the offense is playing well, defense is playing like they're playing what you have, and running the football is the key. I don't care if it's boring. I don't care what the rest of the NFL is doing. If that is your bread and butter and what gets your offense working, you got to just keep sticking with it, keep running the football. And I think that's the balance of seeing with Justin eventually coming back that I want to see is like, it doesn't have to be put all on his shoulders. This can be, let's go with the run game. Through the right side of that offensive line, I could still run behind. I'm just letting you know right now. Like I can lace up right now and still probably average about 3.5 a carry. No joke.
What if it's 3rd and 4? What if we need 4, Jarrett, and you don't get 3.5? What about 4? Can you give us 4?
Hey, somebody's in the back. Someone's pushing me. I know. They got the, tush push. Everybody, let's go. Let's go. I'm still ready, Mully and Haugh. Let's go.
Speaking of running backs, what kind of relationship did you have with David Montgomery, and how surprised are you the fact that he is really thriving in Detroit?
Not surprised at all. I know what kind of back he is. He's one of those backs that everybody talks about. He's kind of like me. Dave, you saw that video I posted the other day.
Yep. That was great.
Florida State. Yeah. Yep. Everybody always said I wasn't going to outrun everybody. If I was 60 and out, I probably wasn't going to make it, but I was always going to run hard in between the tackles. And that's what he does. And to see him thrive, I always want the best for David Montgomery. He was one of my favorites. And one of the running backs since I've been in the business that was in Chicago that truly embraced the whole Walter Payton, the whole theme. He would hit me up, ask me questions, where he could train, finding hills, all that stuff. So I knew he was always different. He was always looking for an edge. And so I've always taken that to heart, and that's my boy. I still chat with him here and there, and I wish nothing but the best for that young man. He's still fun to watch.
Great stuff, Jarrett. Appreciate it, man. Always fun to talk to you, and I envy you being in Vegas, especially at Circa. What a great spot.
Have fun out there, Jarrett.
Yeah. I'm going to get my money now, guys. Appreciate you. I'll talk to you when I get back.
Take care.
That's awesome. Yeah, they're giving out free money. Never believe that, for God's sake. That's Jarrett Payton.